You could tell a man about a distance travel. I'm a seeker of knowledge. I'm a nerd. I always want to learn. And whenever you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you die.
What's up, guys? This is Ron from Amateurbuilders. We're back in the new year, 2025. I just recently actually created my personal website, and I wanted to make this first episode about what I built so far in this year. And so far, it's been my personal website, which was actually already built prior, but I used Wix. It sucked, and I didn't like it. I don't like really those website design editors. It kind of feel like it constrain you in a certain design element or a certain creative or templated type of styles, and I'm just like, I don't like that. So I figured, as you know from my previous episodes, I've been relearning web development. So I built it mostly through CSS and HTML. That was mostly what I built it in. I'm learning JavaScript, and that will be further down the line. You guys will see projects in probably all three: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But this website is really just a brief overview of how I think about design, and I can just walk you guys through it. So let me share my screen. And if you're listening, it's best to go over to our YouTube channel, Amateurbuilders. We'll leave a link in the description below. So check us out over there, subscribe, share, and get us to be noticed in the YouTube algorithm. So let me just share my screen real quick, and we can go through it. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is the site right here. I don't mind the text so much. It's just copy that I just placed there for now. It's going to be a living website where I'm going to change it constantly. You see, it's hosted on GitHub. And I'm going to more than likely purchase an actual domain once I feel I'm equipped enough with code, and it'll be more professional looking. But yeah, like it's still a bit functional, you know. You see some of this like here, and you see my LinkedIn, you see my Twitter. Sorry, I'm like moving slow, but no, you see the Twitter, you see my GitHub, where I have all my different projects. But yeah, this is it pretty much, guys. So when I created this website, I wanted particularly this upper container right here. I was calling it I was thinking of it of like a hero banner. I wanted it to capture the attention, so I made it like a gradient like color, and it changes from like a yellowish, bluish to like the pinkish, mostly predominantly pink. Actually, that's my favorite color. And then I'll have my portfolio right here in this section, this portfolio section. And you scroll down, you have the skill set in this grid layout right here. Then you have the contact or footer near section. Then my actual footer with my socials and stuff. So it's really a basic website, honestly, but I'm really happy that I built it out. It's been a little work in progress, to be honest, and I always was supposed to build out a website, but I figured to showcase you guys this, demo it. Hopefully you guys can give me some feedback, whether it's good or it's bad. No, responsively is a bit like janky, not to what I really want, but I can walk through some of the thought process behind some of my responsive code. So I believe I made this right here. I believe I made this like Give me a sec. Let me see. I made the top container about like responsive flow of relative. Actually made the whole website a responsive flow of relative. Apologies. And certain containers, certain divs, I made it just a position of a flow of just absolute. So my thought process that went into that was to just, as it decreases, obviously things can like respond better on the smaller devices, and I believe those properties would have given me that. I added memes. I don't know. Like I just like this website. It just speaks to me and my character. It's gonna definitely change for sure, but like the gradient and stuff to capture the eyes when you first land on the page, then as they scroll, the user or whoever is visiting, the visitors, they can just see all the different kind of color and typography. These typographies is what I like. Is Roboto Sans, Roboto Mono, and Courier New. So I thought it would be more readable, seeing that it's the spacing in between them, and the letters are thin. And yeah, I really like it. I really like it. I think it's going to be more functional in the future as I learn JavaScript. And you guys are going to definitely see an improvement in it when I have all these different breadth of experience and I can be able to display it to the globe. And I want to say that throughout this process of coding, I was like, I had days where I was like, damn, like, oh my God. But I'm still learning. My thing is to just do it 2 hours minimum a day. Obviously, that's the minimum. I could do more, but I think at least 2 hours for me is great. I learned this rule called 10% rule. I believe it was in the book The Richest Man in Babylon. And I don't know who the character was, but the main or protagonist, I think was a rich merchant or so, and he applied 10% to everything that he did. So, for example, it's 24 hours in a day. 10% of 24 is 2.4, or you can look at it as 2.5. So my minimum for coding, give it at least 10%. So 2.5 hours or 2 hours for me, really, I keep it at that. And everything I've learned so far didn't really come from that book, but just like the Pomodoro technique, I've been using that a lot. So I separate the time that I work on coding, and regardless of what I do, it could be like writing syntax itself, or just researching, or just learning like lessons. I categorize that as just coding and learning. Coding plus lessons, like, is all within the category still of coding because I'm just learning stuff. And today, actually, I learned about pseudocode and writing pseudocode and understanding how that helps you as a beginner to understand the logic and the programming behind what you actually write out syntactically. So that's just been grateful. That's been great for me. So I'm excited, honestly. At times, I'm really like excited to write code. Like I'm excited. At times, I feel it, and like not even exaggerating, And obviously, there's times I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I can't. And I feel that kind of urge, like, do something else. Like, just do something else. But I think from seeing a lot of videos on YouTube about how people learned, finally learned programming, finally learned coding, like developing, and they basically all said the same thing. Like, you gotta think about code programmatically and think of it in a problem solving way. And I've just been seeing those things and just taking things and breaking them down into different chunks, like, which is called truncating in psychology. It's just taking the smallest part first and just understanding that, then moving on, and then understanding that, moving on, and then putting it back together. Like, okay, well, if I do this, then that, like, like there's a reason why it's like those kind of if then and for loops in program. Like they're actually just logical things, to just think about. So it's still like I'm still learning for sure, and I could be totally wrong, and I could probably learn a new way, my own personal way, custom way, how to do things. But so I won't really rely a lot on just what everybody else experiences was. But for sure, I'm gonna still look at it and say, hey, these people were right. Maybe if I think this way, it'll help me in that way. And so far, it's been the case. Yes, what they're saying is true. It's not right, rocket science or new. Um, and if I learn anything new, like I definitely will document it and show it to the world and say, hey, this is how I learned too. You have the foundations, what everyone said, then this is what I learned. That was like a caveat or something new in my own experience, and maybe that will help others to be like, oh yeah, like I know that too. Like a lot of people didn't talk about that. Um, so I just can't wait for those moments, and I'm gonna try to commit at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Honestly, more. I'm comfortable doing 2 hours now, so I think I'll stick to that more than likely every day, Monday to Sunday, and gonna definitely come back and show you guys what I've learned, what I've built, and I want everyone to just keep at it. Consistency really is key. Like, I want you guys to just bury that. For me, I told myself, like, I don't care if I just stare at the screen. Like, if I just stare at the screen, then that's fine. That's part of coding. Like, staring at the screen, thinking, like, that's just it. And I told myself that's just going to count towards the 2 hours. Like, once 2 hours hit or 2.5 hours, I decide to go extra 30, then that's it. Just leave it alone. Come back the next day. It's the next day. It's the next 24 hours. Do that. Go out, enjoy life, and do other things like my newsletter, write my newsletter, do the podcast, and document what I'm learning so far. So, like I said, I can't wait to show you guys. I really want you guys to come with me on this journey. And Alou, right now is his birthday. Happy birthday to Alou. And he's going to be back. I don't know when, but he's in Aruba enjoying himself. So, yeah, like I'm excited, and I'm going to keep at it, guys. Like, I don't know. I like to keep things to myself. I'm one of those individuals. I don't really like to tell people what I'm doing, but I learned if you build it in public, you have to be able to express that and say, this is what I'm doing. And you can go dark then and start doing things and then come back. So next episode, I'm going to try to build out a project and showcase you guys. And this more than likely is going to be in JavaScript, because the course I'm taking, that's what I'm learning right now, actually. So catch me on the next episode, guys. And like I said, subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on Spotify, and hope to see you in the next episode, guys. This was a short one, so stay tuned. We're going to keep going and keep pumping. Let's have a great new year, and I'm wishing you guys well on your own journey and success in life and in this year. So happy New Year's, and Amateur Builders out. Peace.